You know, I've always been a very private person. A very, I'm introverted, very quiet person, very personal. I keep my personal life like to myself. I don't like everyone knowing my business, right? And there's a lot of people that have gotten way too comfortable in both my absence and my silence. And in my absence and silence, um, there's been a Tower of Babel of lies that's been built. And the funny thing is, the amount of effort and time that was spent and put into building this Tower of Lies, all it takes is me speaking the truth, and then it all comes crumbling down. People seem to have forgot. People seem to have forgot. My family members had 30 plus years to study me, 30 plus years to learn me, and you still count me out? You still count me out? You forgot? Man, I guess I have to remind you. I guess I had to remind you that I'm the comeback king. My persistence, my determination, unfucking matched. Haven't you learned that? Man, some people just don't learn. I thought you learned, but I blew your mind when I did that Spartan race. I blew your mind when at the last minute, the night before, I just decided to do it. I just can't. I've always shocked you. I've always surpassed all these barriers that you thought I wouldn't. And guess what? A lot of the barriers were set in front of me by you. You fake fucks. Blood. What's blood? But let's expose some corruption. What's funny is I saw this and I couldn't resist wearing this secrets, because we're gonna expose some secrets. We're gonna let the truth be known. How about that? Let's do that. Where to start? Well, let's talk about some of the ways that that people will use to disrupt your peace and try to add chaos to your life, right? How far back do we go? Okay, let's go back to COVID, because that's right around when I really started my awakening really started shifting and changing, right? And my parents were they were doing domination spells on me. They were doing everything trying to dominate me, right? So for starters, I didn't fall into the false narrative of the scare tactics of the media and the government trying to force you into getting, the vaccination and all that. I didn't fall into that deception, right? And then, my parents tried to exclude me, make me feel excluded, because, oh, well, if I don't get it, then I can't be around the family. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, I don't conform. And you think I'm going to conform just at ease to just because you're too weak-minded. You're too weak-minded to think for yourself and just to see through the veils. You think I have to submit to your false reality of, well, no, it's not a false reality. It's your reality and it's real to you. But to me, it's completely wrong. And there's no timeline where I'm gonna fall into that reality. There's no timeline that existed on. But so the domination spells to get me. So they pretty much wanted me to move back in with them. And if I wasn't willing to move back in with them, then I couldn't see my family. And my dog was living with them then, right? Because I couldn't have the dog in my apartment. That was my bitch. That was my ride or die, right? And they were trying to use her as leverage towards me. And they realized that wasn't working. I wasn't coming back to them, right? They realized I wasn't coming back to them then. And these motherfuckers killed my fucking dog. You killed my fucking bitch. You killed my dog. And you threw her in the back of my fucking truck bed. Father of mine. Piece of shit. They thought they were playing on all my emotions. They tried to tap into all my emotions, because they knew they were harvesting my energy. They were harvesting my golden fucking aura, my golden energy. They were harvesting off it. They were profiting off of my fucking misery. But I still wouldn't conform. I still didn't submit to your authority, which is all it was. They were trying to get to show their dominance over me. They're trying to get to show I need them. I'm always gonna come running back to them because I need you, mother, father. Fuck off. I never fucking needed you. I never needed you. They killed my dog. And it still didn't work. It made it easier for me to sever ties from them, because I didn't need to. I didn't have a tie to them. I didn't have to go over there to see them. Right? Then I moved into a new apartment after that one, right? After that one. And there was a whole lot of blockages. So they were still doing spells on me, they were trying to keep me in poverty, right? Trying to make so nothing works out right for me. And it was very it was challenging, but found it in the last minute, it was like the last 2 days of our apartment, we found a place to move to, right? And we moved into there. And I don't know how much, I'm probably gonna skip through this part because that's a longer story to everything that happened there. But long story short, I lived with this dude for a while, and things were fine. And then we had just re-signed the lease, right? And I was dealing with everything. I was dealing with the death of my brother, my grandfather. I was dealing with the motorcycle accident, a whole lot of shit, right? And then my landlord, was in on it. I'm pretty sure my roommate was in on too. I'm pretty sure he took a bribe with them to add some chaos to my life. Because that's what my family did. They went and approached everyone I knew, and they paid him off. They paid him off to make me to cause chaos into my life. But I did miraculously, despite everything, I always made it work. I always made it work. And I was still doing drugs at the time, right? But I still made everything work. I was working 2-3 jobs, whatever. But the chaos. There's so much of the chaos. So my roommate finally moved out, right? And then I didn't know what to do. I couldn't afford the place by myself. I could barely afford it as it was, right? But I ended up had this chick move in with me, which was more chaos because she was heavy into drugs, and she never paid rent, so I had to cover my rent and hers and this and that, and it took me months to get rid of her. I finally got rid of her, and then before I even got rid of her though, my let's introduce a new character. My bitch ass attention seeking, like, look at me, pick me, brother Tim, little pick me Tim. I'll just nickname him that, pick me Tim. So I'm pretty sure he wasn't gonna go homeless, but this was all part of their ruse. It was all part of the ruse to infiltrate my barriers, because Tim has already been cut out of my life, because I know he's just a little man-child, an incompetent little bitch. He can't do anything for himself, wants everything done for him, and sense of entitlement, entitled little bitch. And a little pussy, and he's not one who acts like he's a man, but just because you have balls doesn't make you a man. I don't even know if you even have them. It's just a ghostly outline of where they used to be. They probably got retracted after birth. Like, where the fuck did they go? But Tim, yeah. This motherfucker would come back. He would come back after working, right? After, works in the restaurant industry, come back after bartending or whatever, come back and brag about all the money he made. But he would be 2 months behind on rent. And wants to sit here and brag about the money you made. Okay, where's the money for rent then? Oh, yeah, bitch. And this motherfucker's just a lazy fuck. Lazy. He would, he's so lazy. He was there for, I don't know how many months, too many. But never once helped with anything around the house. Never once helped with anything. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm taking care of my son, my dog, and I'm doing all the chores around the house, right? And I was doing drugs at the time. But he was just so lazy. He would love his chili, and he would open up his can of chili and sit there for 5 minutes while it heated up in the microwave. But in those 5 minutes, he couldn't find the time to even take the can and walk it over to the trash can or the recycling, which was right there. He was too fucking lazy. Just a lazy piece of shit, and just never did anything, right? And then after I got a leash out of there, right? I kicked my son out of his room to make room for my brother, so my brother wouldn't go homeless, despite I knew everything in me said that I shouldn't do it, but I did anyways, right? I did it anyways. But then I finally got rid of that bitch, and then no, let's introduce another character, fucking piece of shit Mike. Mike was an acquaintance of mine that I didn't know that well, but just one of those guys that thinks that he's God's gift to women. And no, you're just a womanizing piece of shit. And, constantly getting fired from his jobs, from stealing. He was a bartender, but he would overserve women and try to take advantage of them. He would fucking, he's persistent. He'll go after women, go after until he wears your barrier down, right? That's his game. But he's just a piece of shit. He's a cheater. He's just everything about him. No. But I didn't realize that at the time. He was just an acquaintance. I didn't know him like that. But I let him move in, you know, fully furnished with all my stuff. I let him move in. I picked him up from the airport. I brought him back there. I said, hey, bro, here, get back on your feet. You know what I mean? And when I told him that, get back on your feet, it was, you know, I'm not going to ask anything of you. I'm going to give you the space and time. Here's everything you need. Just get on your feet. But this motherfucker is too lazy, you know, too comfortable, sit around the house, you know, smoking all my weed, drinking all my liquor, you know, eating all my food, but wouldn't do any dishes, wouldn't clean up anything, just a lazy piece of fucking shit, ungrateful little bitch. And, I don't want to spend too much time on that either, but, you know, there was a point where we were months behind on rent, and we were going to get evicted. And I sent messages to both of them. Hey guys, we need to figure this out because we're gonna get kicked out of here. And no one cared. No one cared. No one responded. No one wanted to meet. And so it was that point where I realized it's like, all right, fuck these guys. Fuck the both of you. Like, why am I gonna sit here and keep bending over backwards to help out two man-childs? No, go fuck yourself. And so it was that point where I made the conscious decision to give it up because I knew. I mean, this foundation was weak anyways, and I knew I had to rebuild. And so I was making a conscious decision to tear the house down so I could rebuild off a firm foundation. And I did. I slept in my truck for that summer. I kicked the drugs and I started manifesting, right? And while I was homeless, sleeping in my truck, I started manifesting this house, right? And my parents had sold their house. They had sold their house, and they had been living in an apartment for a while, trying to find, you know, land to build on or whatever. And then they finally found this one piece of land that they wanted in the area. But the only way to get the land was to buy this house that was next to it. And so this is when I really started realizing my manifestation powers. It was because I manifested that house. I was manifesting it, but when you set the manifestations, you just set it and you hold the space and you leave it there. You don't set it has to come this way, or you don't set the diameter or the perimeter. You don't put it in a box that has to fit in on how it comes and what it looks like. You just put it in the universe confirmation of what you want, right? And you hold the space for it. And not how it's going to come or where it's going to come or what it's going to look like. You don't get that into details, right? Maybe when you're trying to manifest it, but when you're holding on to it, no, you got to kind of just release that. And when it comes, divine timing, right? But that house became my temple. That house became a place where I found myself. You know what I mean? It's where I kicked all the rest of the habits and I found myself and I became aligned with God. And, you know, the funny part is, you know, my parents were using that to try to keep me excluded, right? They thought, and the funny thing is, they thought that it was going to be detrimental to me by secluding me, keeping me away from everyone, but no, exact opposite, because I thrive in that, because that's when I did all my shadow work and I started addressing the parts that I've been ignoring and hiding for so long, right? And I sat in all my emotions in that house. That house became my healing center. It was my temple. And I was calling it that. I would tell, hey, you know, I'm at the temple. You want to come over, right? But what do I want to talk about next? They were still trying to control me. My parents were control, dominance. They're still trying to control me. My whole life trying to control me. And they were trying to control the people I could have there and this and that. And it's like, if you're going to control me this much, I'll leave right now. I even told them that, you know, if you need, you know, they were telling me that, you know, okay, they needed more money. It's like, okay, so I'm trying to figure out a solution to make it work. I was trying to bring in people. I was trying to help out these other people, right? I brought in people that I was trying to help. And I was trying to make it work, but their goal was never to make it work. Their goal was always to have the control over me. And where was I going? The control over me. But regardless, they placed stuff around the house. I know that they placed items around the house to try to gain dominance over me and over the space and throw negative energies in the space and this and that. But you know, when you're resonating at such a high frequency, things can only attach onto you if you're resonating at a low frequency. That's why they want to keep you in your lower chakras. They don't want you to extend your higher chakras, your higher frequency, because when you extend your higher frequency, this stuff it can't latch onto you. It can't latch onto you. And I was vibrating so high that shit wasn't latching onto me. But by the time they really realized that, I was already gone. But I guess I'm not gonna get too much into the whole story. But domination. You know, these people have been using domination on me for a long time. They tried using my son and my baby mom, that crazy fucking bitch. That's a whole nother story. But it's all been parts to use to keep me in dominance. And you know, the silly part is, as desperate, you know, the longer it went on with their domination not being effective on me, the more desperate they got. And they started getting sloppy. They started recruiting just any fucking person that I just might have had a passing by. And some of these people were really sloppy, right? And when I sit back there, and you know, God's been reminding me of things like, you know, I remember I was in the car one time with this dude that I moved in there without telling my parents, right? I had moved in there to try to help him out, but I was keeping that hidden from them because I was trying to make it work without letting them know. You know, I wasn't gonna ask permission. I was gonna ask for forgiveness after, because fuck you. I just subliminally, I knew what they were trying to do, and I knew that I couldn't allow them to have that control over me, and so I was trying to remove it from them. I subconsciously knew what I was doing without really knowing it, but I was following my intuition. And I was just irritating the fuck out of them because my subconscious mind knew exactly what to do, and it was working against everything that they were doing, because the spells were still over me, and they're saying one thing but they're doing the opposite. But I was still had some of the spells casted over me, right? But this dude, I was in this car with this dude, right, that I picked up and gave a ride that went way over my. I did way too much for this. I don't even remember his name. That's how irrelevant he was. That's how unimportant he was. I don't even remember his name. But what a goofball. And they thought that they were gonna be effective using him against me. And he took a recording of me in the car when I was giving thanks to Yeshua. I was giving thanks. What, you gonna make me look? Thought you were gonna make me look crazy. Well, you probably did, but you thought you were gonna. They thought that I was gonna let that get to my mind. And blah, blah, blah. Ooh, people, I'm worried about what people are thinking about me. Ooh, I'm worried about what people are thinking about me. Oh no, people are gonna think bad about me. Bitch, I don't care what people think about me. Just because you do, you're projecting. You care what people think about you. I don't. And so you're projecting that on me. Fuck out of here. I don't care about that shit. The fuck? Ah, people are funny. People are funny, man. Man, and so, yeah, you know what pisses them off? These luscious locks. You see this, Ma? You're jealous of my hair, right? You're jealous of my looks, right, Ma? You jealous little bitch. What's up, Ma? How you doing, Ma? How you doing? Yeah, fuck you, bitch. I wish I didn't have those feelings about my mother. I wish I didn't. And that bitch wishes I never saw the truth. The bitch wished I never saw her true colors. If it was up to her, I never would have. If it was up to her. But, bitch, it ain't up to you. But yeah, man, emotional manipulation. My mother is just a narcissistic, emotionally manipulative little bitch. And my father was just a cold-hearted, emotional little bitch too. You know, they're both child beaters, emotional manipulators, liars. You know, it's just funny. It's like, I'm sure my father was embarrassed when he broke his hand punching me, when he broke his wrist punching me in the back. I'm sure he was embarrassed. And that's why he went around telling everyone that he fell on the ice. Yeah, I would be embarrassed too if I told my friends that I broke my wrist trying to hit my kid. I'd be really embarrassed too. Man. I wonder how little you felt. When your son finally stood up to you. When your son finally stood up and said, "Nah, you ain't beating me no more." I wonder how you felt. I wonder how little you fucking felt then. Huh? I wonder how little you feel now. Yeah. your powers have no control over me. Your powers haven't had control over me for a long time. And what did I say? What did I say a long time ago? What did I tell you a long time ago? The battle's already over. All I have to do is sit still and be quiet. That's why I haven't been talking about this shit, because I didn't have to. I just let it all unravel. Let it all unravel. The wheels of fortune. How are they turning now? Looks are deceiving, I know that. So don't you. Just like glamour spells you've been putting on me, they're not working. They never will. But you know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? When the Uno reverse is pulled and it gets returned to sender, you know, it's not just gonna make you ugly. It's gonna reveal your inner beauty, which isn't there. It never was. It was only a facade. It was only a facade. You're ugly as fuck inside. People are gonna see you for who you truly are. I don't have to do anything. You know, keep you reminded of the CPS. You know, that was a last final hoorah for them, trying to get me sucked back in and trapped in the. So they tried to set me up with drugs, right? They tried to set me up a couple times with drugs. That didn't work. I evaded that. They tried to dominate me and trap me any way they could, and they couldn't. They tried to get me locked up. And that wasn't successful. They had me tied up with a whole lot of legal stuff. You know, I didn't go back for the. I started dealing with the shit with the slumlord from when I had those two man-childs living with me. I was gonna take full responsibility for everything, even though it wasn't mine to take. I was willing to take it all, just to be done with it, right? 222, 2222, just to be done with it. Just to be done with it, because I wanted to be done with it. So I wanted to finish that chapter. And that I knew what it required. It required, you know, just being done with it. It required me taking on stuff that wasn't even mine. Whatever, so be it. If that's what I need to do to finally be over with it, that's where I was at. But I take accountability. I take responsibility for my actions. All those that are running their mouth about me, all those that have been running their mouth about me, can you say the same? I'm the realest they come. And you know, the sands of time reveal that. The sands of time reveal that. But the sands of time also reveal the deception, your deception. My persistence and determination to succeed at all costs. You underestimated. You tried to, oh, my little pick-me sister bitch Tab. What's up, Tab? What's up? You've always been jealous of me. And you know, Mom, you tried to sit there trying to get in my mind. Oh, look at your sister. Your sister trying to make me feel less than. Trying to make me feel less than. Your sister this, your sister that, your sister that. I never gave a fuck about comparing myself with her. I never compared myself to anybody. I'm not like you. I never was like you. I never will be like you, idiot. But you're trying to show me how dedication and this and that and how's my willpower? How's my dedication? How's my perseverance? Huh? How is it? Yeah. You don't underestimate people. Stop underestimating people. You never know. You never know. Speaking of which, you never know. You know why? You know why I took all the titles off of my stuff, off my Facebook a while ago? Because I used to have it up there, you know what I mean? You know, Earth Angel, Prophet, Kingdom Ambassador, a leader of the new Earth, you know, blah, 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 right? But I removed it all because, you know, well, first off, I never really enjoyed titles. I never really saw titles are, oh, you got a main title. Like, well, not to take away for some of your achievements, but your titles are whatever, it's your title. It's a title. But especially these titles down here, it's, you know, my titles that are up there, I mean, my name rings bells. My name is fucking celebrated in all the halls. You know, like, I know who I am. Yeah, I don't need the satisfaction and glorification and everything, the attention that you're all seeking down here. I don't need that. And that's what you can't understand either. But Tab, man, jealousy. Jealousy is a motherfucker. Same with you, Josh. Cuzzo. What up, Cuzzo? I treated you like blood. What up, Cuzzo? What up, Aunt Sherry? What's up? What's up, bitch? You know what's funny? You try to get dominance over me, right? You try to get dominance in my dreams, too. I'll let you in on a little secret. You got through one time to my dream state, bitch. You got through one time. I remember okay, so it was right after I left, right? It was right after I left. And, you guys knew I was gone for good. You guys knew I was on my way out. This is after my son, I tried to take my son with me, and he dipped when I was in the Walmart parking lot when I fell asleep, right? And, he tried to get in my dreams. And so, in my dream, I remember I was back in the house, right? I was back in the house. And I heard like dogs barking downstairs. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, dogs. Like, there were no dogs in the house, right? So I remember walking downstairs, because I had already accepted my position. I had already accepted, I was no longer less than. I accepted my full, I know who I am. I was sitting on my throne at that point. That's why I moved up to the master bedroom, because I was no longer cowering away from who I am. I was fully embracing who I am, or who I'm becoming, right? But I remember going downstairs, and I came down the stairs, and I went through the living room. I turned the corner, and when I turned the corner, that's when you came out. I'm like, I was yelling, "Who's here? Who's here?" And the door opened, and you came out, and you tried to calm me down, and because I started flipping out as soon as I saw you, and I fucking shut that door right in your face, bitch. I shut that door right in your face. I cut you out of my dream, cut you right out of my dream. Say right then. Was that you that I cut out from astral projecting then? Was that you that I was working with Archangel Michael, and he trapped you? Was that you? I'm not sure which one of you it was. I know a lot of you are astral projecting to me, or have been, but a lot of you have probably lost that ability. Faith around and find out, bitches. Faith around and find out. Man. But it's all been, they're trying to get this light. They killed my brother. They killed my brother John because one, how close he was to me. They were trying to get me any way they could, and that was a big way. And then, but also they took a life insurance policy out on him. So it was two birds with one stone. They were trying to play on my emotions, and they were also monetarily gaining from it, right? They were monetarily gaining from that. They're going after my throat chakra. They don't like the truth I'm speaking. But if only it mattered what they want or what they like. It don't matter. I'm the voice of authenticity. You can't silence me. You can't silence me. I can't be silenced. Nope. But yeah. The sands of time reveal everything. The sands of time reveal everything. And what was done in the dark shall always come to the light. I feel like I'm kind of rambling at this point, so we're just going to leave it there. Confirmation burp. What was done in the dark shall always come to the light. I know there's more of the story that's going to unravel. I don't even have confirmation. I don't even have proof on any of this. No solid proof. It's all just what the Most High has showed me through dreams, through meditation, and through divination. Not illegal divination, because I don't need to do illegal. I don't need to do illegal shit. All I do is the Most High speaks to me however it speaks to me. I don't have to tap into other people's shit. I don't have to do illegal fucking things, unlike some other people. But there's a price to pay for everything done illegally. There's a price to pay, especially for the natural laws and spiritual laws. When you break those ones, gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. Some things you don't mess with. You don't mess with spiritual law. You don't mess with natural law. You don't mess with people's free will. That's something that you're having a rude awakening to. Just like the fact that you have no dominance over me. I broke free, bitches. Peace.